Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about how much you can eat and still lose weight or control your weight. And I'm going to base my comments on calories. I am fully aware that to many, calories are passé. We should be talking about stress or exercise or gut bacteria or fasting or insulin or points, at least carbs. Calories? Really? Yes, calories really. Why calories? Because it works. There really is no question that the number of calories you eat compared to the number you burn will, in the long run, determine your weight. I know a lot of other things can work too. Carbs certainly can work. Lots of people, including me, have lost weight using Weight Watchers points or whatever their current plan uses. Intermittent fasting can work for some people in some circumstances. Frankly, I've tried them all and a lot more too. This is about what works for me. And what works for me is calories. So, calories it is. If that's just too yesterday for you, try to hang in there. I really think it'll be worth your while. According to data from the Food and Nutrition Board of the Institute of Medicine, the average adult woman expends roughly 2,300 calories a day, and the average adult man uses about 3,000. However, as you can see from the chart, the usage varies considerably. Factors such as height, weight, age, activity level, and even country affect the results. And certainly beyond that, there is individual variation. At the risk of getting too technical, let's dig into that a little bit. Strictly speaking, basal metabolic rate, or BMR, is the amount of heat energy your body gives off while you're asleep or completely at rest. Resting metabolic rate, or RMR, is the amount of energy your body needs to function while you're performing low-level activities but are not asleep. There are significant differences in the way they're measured, but for our purposes, both indicate how many calories you need to function. And the difference between the two numbers is usually less than 10%. The two terms are in fact sometimes used interchangeably. There is a formula called the Mifflin St Jeor equation that estimates your metabolic rate based upon your weight, height, age, and sex. However, the most accurate results come from the use of testing devices in a lab that measure your oxygen intake and your carbon dioxide output. There are several online calculators that use the Mifflin St Jeor equation to help you determine your RMR. Here's a link to one of them. It also appears in the comments below this session. As you can see, you enter your gender, weight, height, and age, and it shows you your BMR in terms of daily calories. It also shows you your calorie usage based upon varying levels of activity. For me, it shows a BMR of 1,745 calories, with 2,704 used each day if I have a moderate level of activity. Another website that will help you calculate your calorie usage is from the Mayo Clinic. I'll also put a link to its website in the comments below. It uses somewhat different categories for activity, but after entering my age, weight, height, and gender, and assuming that I am in the active category, it estimates that I use 2,600 calories a day. There isn't a huge difference between the 2,704 calories per day estimated by the Mifflin St Jeor calculation and the 2,600 calories estimated by the Mayo Clinic site. But I'd have to say that based on my experience, they're both a bit high. I seem to need about 2,300 calories a day. However, your results may vary. The point is that you should use these numbers as a starting point, but you'll need some experience with your own body to get a better number, and the number will change as you lose weight. In 1958, a scientist named Max Wishnowsky concluded that the caloric equivalent of 1 pound of body fat was 3,500 calories. So, it should be simple, right? Since 3,500 calories divided by 7 days is 500 calories a day, all you have to do is eat 500 calories less than you burn each day, and you should lose a pound a week, right? Easy peasy. Well, that's not a useless idea, but as is often the case, reality is a little more complicated. First, burning a pound of fat in a calorimeter isn't the same as how your body burns a pound of fat. Thus, the number of calories your body actually derives from the food can be different from the number of calories shown on a nutrition label on the food. Calorie counts on food nutrition labels are generally calculated by summing the standard calorie count for grams of carbohydrates, grams of fat, and so forth in the food. So there can be some difference. Second, when you lose a pound of weight, not all of it is fat. A significant amount is water or muscle or other tissues, depending partly on your exercise profile. In general, dietitians now usually believe that the 500 calorie rule overestimates how much weight you will lose. Also, as we said before, as you lose weight, the number of calories you can eat and continue to lose weight will be reduced. So, if counting calories has so many issues, why do it? For me, the answer is that it is objective and it works. There may be some areas where things aren't as precise as we would like, but I have not found any situations where I didn't lose weight if I limited my daily calories to an appropriate target number. Perhaps that target number includes a small amount of wiggle room, but not so much that it doesn't work. As I said before, I'm dishonest when it comes to what I eat. I need something that I can measure and record and make cognitive decisions from. Calories do that. So use something like the Mifflin St Jeor calculation or the Mayo Clinic website to get a starting number for how many calories you need each day to maintain your weight. In the next session, we'll talk about how to allocate your calorie allowance to eating periods. But first, let's talk about weight loss expectations and how to fine-tune your calorie allowance. Although I weigh myself every day, my practice is to evaluate my progress once a week. We'll talk more about weighing yourself in a later session. I choose to do my evaluation each Saturday. Although, like you, I wish I could make all the fat go away overnight, my realistic expectation is to lose at least a pound a week over the long haul. I allow myself 1,800 calories a day. When I first started my weight loss journey, I was able to lose weight on 2,400 calories a day, but I was carrying around 150 pounds more than I am now. As long as I keep up my exercise and don't cheat, I can usually lose about a pound a week on 1,800 calories. At that rate, it takes a long time to lose 150 pounds. But as I said earlier, it also took a long time to gain 150 pounds. It may seem depressing to think that you're planning to lose only a pound a week, and honestly, at times it is. It's very easy to get discouraged and say, this is just too slow. But if someone told you that you'd be able to eat a satisfying diet that didn't require a lot of attention and still be 5 pounds lighter a month from now, would you take that deal? How about if they said you'd be 25 pounds lighter 6 months from now? Of course you want to have this fat gone tomorrow, but there's no safe way to do that. And remember, the alternative in all likelihood is not to stay at your current weight. It's to gain still more. The thing that makes this all bearable is that you don't have to wait until you reach your goal to start seeing rewards. The first good thing that happens is that your clothes start fitting better. You may be the only one that notices, but it's a great feeling to put something on and feel like it is indeed in your size. The second great thing that happens is that you'll be able to fit into some of your clothes that you've outgrown, and honestly, every fat person I know has a closet full of them. At some point, you'll be able to move easier and do things you didn't used to be able to do. Eventually, you'll be more comfortable and you'll be healthier. Certainly, it would be nice to be able to lose weight faster. But what's really important is that you find something that you can fit into your lifestyle that allows for continuous progress and will require only minor modifications when you reach your goal. Keep in mind, this is not a diet. Diets end someday. This is learning a new way to eat and live. This is learning to exert cognitive control over something that should happen automatically, but doesn't. And it's learning to do it in a way that doesn't make you crazy. So to summarize, limiting the calories you eat each day is what makes cognitive weight control work. Start with an estimate of how many calories you burn each day using one of the calculators we've discussed. Reduce that number by 500 to establish your target calories per day to lose weight. Weigh yourself daily and evaluate your results weekly. Adjust your calorie allowance in order to lose about a pound a week. There's a lot more to say, but those are the basic ideas. Be well and be happy. Remember, you're beautiful and amazing just the way you are. This isn't about how you look, it's about how you live. And living without having to drag all that fat around with you is just wonderful. You can do it. It just takes time and persistence and a good methodology. So here's your limerick for this session. Molly's love for bagels and lox led to problems installing her socks. The digestive gland between her foot and her hand was harder to scale than Fort Knox. In the next session, we'll talk about how to divide your calorie allotment into times of the day and how to create standard meals. See you then.